Okay, so in the last class, I gave you a brief introduction of what sampling is, some of the basic terms and terminology that is involved in sampling. We'll continue with that. In the last class, we had discussed about population, what is target population in that, and what will be accessible to a researcher in that population. So if you have a huge population, maybe of 1 lakh or 10 lakhs, out of that, the people who are meeting your criteria will be the target population, and out of those who you are able to access yourself, who are able to be experimented on, will be your accessible population, which will come down to a much more smaller number. All right. Sampling is essentially a process in which you are extracting a few individuals that you think will represent the population. Okay. Now, experimenting on a population will be hard because the total number of people that are involved in a population is much larger when compared to a sample. So, for example, if we talk about, let's suppose there is a population of India, 1.3 billion. है, ठीक है? And I want to do a study on eating habits of Indians in general. ठीक है? So experimenting on 1.3 billion will be much more harder. मैं क्या करता हूँ इसमें से एक छोटा सैंपल लेता हूँ which is representative of this number. ठीक है? So I will take all the states, and from each state, let's suppose I'm taking 10,000 people. ठीक है? So I am covering 10,000 people from each state, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the size of the state itself. But on an average, let us suppose I'm taking 10,000 individuals. So मेरे पास roughly around 3 lakh individuals आते हैं. ठीक है? In that scenario, it is much more easier to perform an experiment on 3 lakh individuals as compared to 130 crore people. Okay, so my sample will be the final sample will be the accessible population who I can experiment on. Okay, so let's suppose I'm going door to door and I'm asking them about their own eating preferences, whether they are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, or what do they like to eat on a daily basis, things like that. Okay, so that is one example. Now coming to some other terms, we have the sample. Now the sample itself will be a subset of units. Okay, it will be a representation of the population, a small number of people which will represent the population. Okay, they will have similar characteristics to the population itself, and these people in the sample, let us suppose the sample size is 50. Okay, so these 50 individuals have been specifically selected by the investigators or by the researchers to participate in the research project. Okay, in the sample you will have subjects. ठीक है, इन लोगों को elements भी बोलते हैं. So in a research study, let us suppose you are trying to research individuals in India. So as I told you, 1.3 billion is the whole population. Okay, uh, your accessible population which will be much smaller. Okay, let us suppose it is 30 lakhs or it is 3 lakhs, whatever the number is, much smaller number when compared to the total population. This 3 lakh number will be the sample that is representing everyone. Okay, it is representing 1.3 billion because the others have similar characteristics in one way or the other when compared to that whole population. Okay, ये 3 lakh individuals will represent 1.3 billion. Okay, in certain characteristics, let's suppose in food habits, they are representing 1.3 billion because I'm making sure I'm taking the sample throughout India. Okay, so I'm taking some people from each and every walk of life, each and every background, rich, poor, uh, whatever, different communities, castes, so on and so forth. Okay, alag regions ke, so things like that. Then individuals who are involved in this, so each of these 3 lakh members will be a subject because there are 3 lakh subjects in that sample. One sample is of 3 lakhs and individually they are subjects or elements. All right, then we have the sampling frame. So sampling frame is essentially the list of all elements or the list of subjects in the population from which the sample is drawn. So for example, sampling frame kaisa rehta, uh, let us suppose the researcher wants to study about pregnant women. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने क्या कर सकते हैं, In this scenario, a researcher may prepare a list of all the households in that locality. Let us suppose you want to do a research project on antenatal care. Okay, you are going to the local Anganwadi clinic or the local Anganwadi worker, and you are asking for them for a list of all the households who currently have a pregnant lady in them. Okay, so let us suppose you do it in your own locality. Let us suppose now you are living near Alkapur, Narsinghi, and all right. Let us suppose you go to a local Anganwadi worker and you ask them information about all the pregnant women in that area. Because it is a government run center, there is a good chance that several people will come to that Anganwadi center to report. Because whenever a lady is pregnant, government will provide certain benefits, packages and all will be given to them, so on and so forth, for general care, medicines and क्या क्या रहता है उसमें. So आपको वो list of people आराम से मिल जाता आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर से. That will be the sampling frame. ठीक है. So that list of individuals or the list of subjects who specifically meet your criteria, in this scenario they are pregnant women who are meeting your criteria, they will be coming under the sampling frame. Then there is sampling error. Sampling error is essentially fluctuations in the values or statistics of characteristics. So आप जो characters specify कर रहे हैं एक population के लिए और एक sample के लिए, maybe there are a few samples or a few subjects that you are selecting who are not meeting the criteria. Maybe there is bias, maybe there might be some distortion that is arising, maybe there is some error while collecting data, and maybe not everyone who is what do you call being selected is pregnant. Or let us suppose your specific criteria is that you want to select pregnant women who have been pregnant for the first time, okay, who conceived for the first time, let us suppose. ठीक है. In that scenario you might come across, अब आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स से अगर आप इंफॉर्मेशन लिए, they will simply give you the total number of pregnant women. They might not necessarily give you the list of information of pregnant women who have gotten pregnant for the first time. So maybe in your experiment you are only including women who have gotten pregnant for the first time. So in that scenario sampling error हो सकता. ठीक है. Whenever you are collecting data you have to be very careful in that scenario, or in order to avoid any bias or in order to avoid any sampling error altogether. Okay. Then finally coming to the last term, which is sampling plan. Sampling plan is essentially a formal plan, ठीक है, which will specify the sampling method. आप क्या method से sampling करें, क्या method से एक sample को extract करें. Okay, sampling is essentially where you are extracting a few people from a huge population so that you can run an experiment on them. Now the way you do it will make your sampling method. आप क्या way से, by what logic are you extracting those few individuals? They need to meet certain criteria, and by what scenario, in what scenario are you selecting those people, on what basis are you selecting those people? All of that will come under sampling method. ठीक है. Sampling plan will also include sampling method, sampling size, sample size essentially आप कितने लोगों को include करेंगे, as well as the procedure of selecting subjects. Okay. Now if we talk about characters of a good sample, so the terms that we discussed was population, target population, accessible population. ठीक है. उसके अलावा we discussed sampling. What is sampling itself? ठीक है. We included what is a sample. ठीक है. Then we included element or subject. Sampling frame. We discussed about sampling error and sampling bias. Okay, maybe you're biased towards a certain amount of certain individuals or certain group of individuals who you want to include in the this thing. That will distort your sample because you will have more number of people from one background. ठीक है. तो आपको overall picture उतना अच्छा नहीं आती अगर sampling bias है तो. And finally sampling panel. Okay, so these are some of the basic terms and terminologies that are included in sampling. As we go through the chapter, it will be very important for you to understand and remember what these individual terms are so that you can understand what is following in the chapter. Okay, so in the last class I had also discussed what are the purposes of sampling. क्यों करते हैं sampling of sampling? ठीक है, so there are four main reasons. One is that it is very economical when compared to economical when compared to testing or experimenting on a population. Think about it. If you want to run an experiment, is it easier to run an experiment on 10,000 individuals, or is it easier to run an experiment on 100 people? So मैं 10,000 की population में से 100 sample लिया तो 100 पे experiment करता ज़्यादा easy रहता. But I have to make sure as an investigator that those 100 people are representing those 10,000 very well. ठीक है, सेम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स या वेरी सिमिलर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रहना. बहुत अलग रहे तो इट विल डिफीट द पर्पस. फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट अस सपोज आई एम एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग ऑन diseases that commonly occur in Asians. Okay, let us suppose I am experimenting on diseases, infectious diseases that commonly occur in Asians. So by Asians, I have to let us now there are several billion people who will count as Asians. I cannot exactly perform an experiment on several billion people. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, एक एक कंट्री में से थोड़े उनको उठाता हूँ. So maybe from each country I am selecting about 2 lakh people or 1 lakh people. ठीक है, I have to make sure that each and every country has a proportionate amount of people representing that country. So अगर country बड़ी है तो उतने ज़्यादा individuals भी रहना. So for example, let us suppose I am taking countries like Thailand, Vietnam, China, India, Sri Lanka. I'm taking what do you call South Korea, North Korea, Japan, and all of that. Now, obviously, the sample size that I'm taking, individual small sample that I'm taking from India and China, will differ from the sample that I'm taking from Japan or Thailand or Vietnam, because their country itself is smaller. The total number of individuals that I'll take to represent that country will also be smaller, because I have to make sure proportionate रह रहा. नहीं तो क्या होता है, एक type of sample बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता. ठीक है, that proportionality will not be maintained. On the flip side, I have to make sure that there are not too many Indians or there are not too many Chinese people, even if their country is bigger, or too many Russians also for that matter. I cannot have that. ठीक है, so वो proportion maintain करना पड़ता. That is also one thing that you have to keep in mind when performing sampling, and it makes it economical. It is easier to perform an experiment on a smaller population compared to a bigger population. Quality of data improved quality of data. Then quick study results. You can complete the study quicker if the sample size is smaller. There is lesser chance of error as well. Okay. Precision and accuracy of data. Precision and accuracy of data. So these are all the purposes of doing sampling. Okay, instead of running an experiment on a population, it is easier and it is better to run an experiment on the sample for all of these four reasons. Okay. Then coming to the characteristics of a good sample. So आप एक sample अगर select कर रहे, if you want to select a sample, if you want to select a few individuals in the sample, what do you need to look for? ठीक है, what characteristics do each of these subjects need to have for them to be included in that sample? So first of all, they need to be representative. इसका मतलब क्या है? Let us suppose I am in that same previous example when I was telling you, we are experimenting on Asians. Let us suppose I am including most of the individuals are from India and most of the individuals are from China, and maybe I'm only including 2 or 3 from Indonesia, Thailand, and all. That population is not representative. That sample is not representative of the population, because if I select so few individuals that they are almost lost in the transition, that sample will not be representative of the population. या फिर मैं खाली इंडिया में ही करा, for example, if I do an experiment only on Indians, I need to make sure that there is proper representation from each state. Agar if I'm not getting enough representation from each state, my data will be skewed. Okay, the results that I get especially will be skewed because I'm not able to justify each and every state. Okay, so I have to make sure that my sample is representing the country very well. Okay, maybe some states have more people compared to other states, but I have to make sure that there are people representing other states as well. Okay, especially the smaller states. It should not be the case where the bigger states or the more populous states, it can be bigger or smaller, but it can be more populous as well. The more populous states are not taking over the less populous states. वैसा भी देखना पड़ता मेरे को, ठीक है, as an investigator. I have to make sure that the samples are free from bias and errors. So this ties into our previous point as well. I have to make sure that I'm not creating bias. I'm not selecting one group of individuals specifically, and what do you call, let us suppose अपन जो previous experiment ही कर रहे थे infectious disease in Asians. Now let's suppose infectious disease in Indians देख रहे हैं अपन, most common what do you call infectious diseases that are occurring in Indians. Now let us suppose some states are more prone to infectious diseases. Let us suppose there are a few states that are more prone, maybe वहाँ पर rain ज़्यादा होती है or whatever the reason is, यहाँ पर infectious disease ज़्यादा होते हैं. So whenever I'm taking the sample, I have to make sure that I'm not including only those states which are getting affected more. I have to make sure that I am selecting states which do not have as much infection as well, because I have to maintain a proper balance. For example, let us suppose Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are getting a lot more infectious diseases compared to other states. Example, okay, and Karnataka, when compared to, let us suppose, Jammu Kashmir or Delhi and Uttar Pradesh and so on and so forth. Whenever I am taking the sample, I have to make sure that I am not biased towards these middle states. I have to make sure that my population does not mostly include of only people from Telangana, Maharashtra and all. I have to make sure that people from Uttar Pradesh and the other states are also being included properly, and I have to make sure that the data that is being collected from them is error free. The sample itself is error free and the data itself is error free. Another thing is that characteristic of a good sample is that they do not need any substitution or they are not incomplete. No substitutions and incompleteness. This means that once you have selected the sample, okay, once you have selected certain individuals for that sample, let us suppose मैं 100 individuals को select कर लिया for my study. If that is a good sample, I will not have to replace those individuals later on during the study. Okay, whenever I am selecting them during sampling, I will make sure that they are properly meeting the characteristics that I have defined for my study, and they are able to participate in the study throughout the duration of the study. Now let us suppose your study goes on for 2 years. Now I cannot have individuals who, let us suppose, um, are prone to certain diseases which might threaten their life, or which might cause inconvenience where they have to drop out of this thing, what do you call, drop out the study. Now obviously you will account for a little bit of error, because it is not possible to predict everything, but still, on a general basis, once person has been selected for a sample, ठीक है, मैं sample में ये individuals को select कर रहा हूँ, most of them should not be substituted. A good sample will not be substituted. ठीक है, those individuals will not be removed and they will not be substituted. जैसा है वैसे ही रहते. Okay, and they will not be incomplete in the sense that they will have all the characteristics that I'm looking for. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक characteristic नहीं है, दूसरा characteristic नहीं है. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, then the last characteristic of a good sample will be appropriate sample size. And this one is very important. Okay, generally, especially depending on what type of study you are running, okay, qualitative study है या quantitative study है. Now अगर quantitative study है, in quantitative studies, generally speaking, the larger the size, the better the results. ठीक है, the probability of goodness of sample will be higher. ठीक है. So there is something called goodness of sample. Some other time I'll explain what is goodness of sample, but essentially in quantitative studies, you have to make sure that the sample size is large enough to make sure that there is goodness of the sample. ठीक है, that is pretty, there is higher probability of goodness of sample. Whereas it will not matter in qualitative studies. अगर आप एक quality test कर रहे हैं कोई particular individual की, let us suppose you are testing their ability of vision, ठीक है, that is a type of qualitative study. तो in that it will not matter the number of individuals, मतलब it will matter, but it is not a direct proportion where if I have more number of individuals my sample will be better. That is not the case in this scenario. अगर qualitative studies run कर रहे हैं आप, if you are running a qualitative studies, number will not matter as much when compared to a quantitative studies. In quantitative studies the number of samples that you are selecting will matter a lot. Okay, so those are four characteristics of a good sample. Now if you have doubts still here, if you want me to repeat anything, please feel free to ask. अभी तक कहीं भी किधर भी डाउट आया तो, because I'll get into the process of sampling. This is only the basic parts of what sampling is, what we discussed till now. You can put it in the chat as well if you have any doubts. You can stop me in the middle when I'm what do you call, explaining something as well if you're not understanding. Okay. Now coming to sampling process. So how does the process of sampling occur? क्या करते? So there are essentially 7 to 8 steps that are involved in the process of sampling. Now, first of all, the most important step, okay, how you are selecting. See, once again, I'll repeat, sampling is essentially a process in which you are selecting a part of the assigned population. Okay, you are selecting one small portion of the accessible population to represent the entire population. ठीक है, आप एक छोटे number of individuals ले रहे हैं, thinking that they will represent the whole of the population so that you can experiment on that small number. ठीक है. One simple way to identify or one simple way to understand what a sample is let us suppose I'm doing an experiment on quality of study of nursing students in Hyderabad. Okay, now instead of studying all the nursing students, BSc nursing students in Hyderabad, let us suppose I take 3 or 4 random colleges and I'm expecting them to represent the whole of the population. ठीक है, या फिर मैं भी I'll take 10 individuals from all of the colleges. ठीक है, and I will not bias myself in such a way that I'm selecting only good students. I will randomly select people. ठीक है, तो अब वो randomly select करने में क्या होता है, error और bias दोनों चले जाते हैं, या एटलीस्ट वो minimize हो जाते हैं. ठीक है. The first step of sampling process will be identifying and defining the target population. Okay. So first of all, the most important thing that you will do is you will identify and you will define what the target population is. Okay. It will essentially consist of a group of individuals or elements, samples, subjects essentially, which will meet your criteria of interest. ठीक है, whatever you want to experiment on as a researcher, उसके थोड़े criteria रहते हैं. For example, you are experimenting on pregnant women, or if you are experimenting on geriatric patients, ठीक है, patients who are over 60 years of age, तो वो criteria meet करने के लिए कितने लोग include हो रहे हैं उसमें. So you will identify that and you will define that target population and you will select only those individuals. That is the first thing. Then second is describing the accessible population. Describing the accessible population and ensuring sample frame. Now इसमें क्या है, the researcher has to establish a description for the accessible population. Which individuals are accessible to you. Okay, even though let us suppose in the previous example I told you you are experimenting on pregnant women. Let's suppose आपके एरिया में अब बहुत सारे pregnant women रहते हैं, आप किसको एक्सपेरिमेंट में इंक्लूड करना चाह रहे हैं, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ठीक है, इवन इफ यू वांट टू इंक्लूड ऑल प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन, इट माइट नॉट बी पॉसिबल टू इंक्लूड ऑल प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन. Some pregnant women in that area might not be interested to take part in the population. Some pregnant women might have serious complications where you cannot include them in the population, or they might, be on their second or third child. ठीक है, second or third pregnancy, which might not include in your criteria. Let us suppose your criteria is that you're only looking for individuals who got pregnant for the first time, so on and so forth. आप अपनी accessible population को, whoever you can access, target population में से remember you can access only a little bit of population, तो वो accessible population को आप clearly describe कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, and these accessible population, these individuals of the accessible populations are readily available to get experimented on. You have taken their consent and you are making sure that they know completely they are in an experiment. Okay, you will properly get this thing, बोलते हैं उसको, forgot the name of that, permission forms बोलते हैं लोगों को, you also got consent forms बोलते हैं लोगों को, yeah. So that consent form, कोई भी experiment करने से पहले, now this is very important for you as a fourth year, because you will be doing an experiment yourself. Whenever you are taking a person, you're including a person in the sample. ठीक है, you have to make sure that, now for example you will be running your experiment in Hyderabad, right? So आप 3 languages में at least you have to make that consent form. So Hindi, English, Telugu में आप consent form बना रहे हैं. ठीक है, and that consent form will clearly tell that the researcher is doing so and so research about whatever topic you are doing on, and uh, so you will address the letter in such a way that the person, let us suppose I am the experimenter and Girija and Gracie and Rishika are the samples. Let us suppose I am going to them, I'm taking the consent form and I am giving it to them. That consent form will tell that I agree to be part of that, to be the part of that research. Now sometimes what will happen is the person itself, let us suppose Girija, Gracie या Rishika जो भी है sample के जो part है, they might not be able to understand completely. They might not be well, or whatever the reason is, they might not be able to understand. So आप क्या कर सकते हैं, their caretaker या guardian या जो भी है, parent है या wife or husband or whatever it is, whoever it is, आप उनसे भी consent ले सकते हैं. Make sure that the patient itself is understanding what is happening. If they are not able to understand, you will take the consent from their guardian. ठीक है, they have to agree that they will be part of your experiment. Only then, after they sign with their, their signature, their date and address and all of that, वो पूरा information रहता है उसमें, only then will you include them in the population. Without consent forms you cannot do the experiment. ठीक है, especially clinical experiments, because sometimes what happens is in your final viva, if the external wants to really grill you, they can also ask you for a consent forms. Had you taken consent forms from the individuals, and if you have taken consent forms, can you please show them to me? Sometimes if they want to ask, they can ask. So remember that. And these consent forms should be made in 3 languages, so that that person, whoever you are giving the consent form to, is able to clearly understand. ऐसा नहीं रहना कि आप एक लैंग्वेज में लिख रहे हैं and you do not have the availability, आप ही ट्रांसलेटर बन के उनको ट्रांसलेट कर दे रहे हैं. That should not be the case. They should read it themselves, or they should have a trusted person read it for them. So by trusted person is not you. The trusted person will be their guardian and things like that, ठीक है, or their doctor. And once they completely understand the situation and they agree to be part of the experiment, only then will they sign. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप उनको कोक्स करके या जबरदस्ती एक्सपेरिमेंट में इंक्लूड करना चाह रहे हैं. ठीक है, यू शुड नॉट डू दैट. अनएथिकल भी रहता है, इलीगल भी रहता. सो एनीवे, you have to make sure that you are describing the accessible population properly, and you are giving complete description of the accessible population. सैम्पलिंग फ्रेम शुड बी अवेलेबल. ठीक है, विद द रिसर्चर, आप क्या फ्रेम में अपना एक्सपेरिमेंट रन करना चाह रहे हैं. ठीक है, व्हाट इज योर क्राइटेरिया ऑफ रिसर्च, आप क्या क्राइटेरिया पे लोगों को सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, देन कम्स स्पेसिफाइंग sample selection methods. ठीक है, अगेन इन दिस यू सैम्पल सिलेक्शन मेथड में आप क्या करते हैं, this is a process in which the researcher will decide whether that sample which you are drawing will be drawn through probabilistic sampling technique or non-probabilistic sampling technique. Later on in the chapter, you will learn what is the difference between excuse me, probabilistic and non-probabilistic sampling technique. But for now, remember that that is one part of sampling. You will make sure that you are clearly defining आप अपना sample probability से probabilistic sampling technique से use कर रहे हैं या non probabilistic sampling technique से use करके निकाल रहे हैं, ठीक है? And this will depend on several factors: what type of population you have, what kind of phenomenon are you studying, availability of the resources, knowledge of the researcher, all of that, experience of the researcher, वो पूरा आता. Then determining sample size. Okay, there is a proper process to how you determine sample size. You do not randomly go about and tell कि नहीं मैं अब 500 sample करूँगा. It is not like that. There is a proper way of selecting the sample size. We'll discuss that in the chapter how we'll go about it. Then specifying sampling plan. So in detail sampling plan आप लिखेंगे. How you plan on perform the sampling and how you plan on performing the research. Then finally selecting the desired sample. ये पूरा करने के बाद you will finally select the sample. You will finally select the individuals who will be part of your research. ठीक है? So this is the process of sampling. You will identify and define the target population. You will define and describe who will be accessible to you from that population, and you will make sure that you have a proper sampling frame or certain criteria. Then you will specify sample selection method, whether it is probabilistic, non-probabilistic, whatever it might be. You might what do you call, have your own particular inclusion and exclusion criteria. Then you will determine the sample size, you will specify the sample plan, and after all of that you'll finally select the desired sample. So individuals जिसको आप select कर रहे हैं, on that sample you will perform the experiment. Now tomorrow we'll start with factors influencing the sampling process. All right.